Problem 1.32 from Francois Tardieu's Backgammon Strategic Concepts book, Chapter 1. Here's the position. We're blue. We roll double ones. Our home board is in the bottom right. We'll look at three possible moves for the double ones. I'll give you my quick observations on each move. Some of Tardieu's key points. Tardieu's expert analysis with feedback from XG. Tardieu's summary. And at the end of the video, I'll modify the position, which I have a couple questions about. Here's the first possible move, making the bar point and splitting our back checkers like this. This makes the valuable bar point the 7 point, our 7 point. Blocks white's sixes from our 1 point, his 24 point. And it splits into white's 11 checker blitz. Second possible move is to make the 4 point and split our back checkers like this. Makes the inner board point we want most, which is the 4 point. Makes the 4 point with checkers from our 5 and our 6 point. And it splits into white's 11 checker blitz. And the third possible move is to make our 4 point and slot the 7 point like this. Makes the inner board point we want most, the 4 point. Makes the 4 point with checkers from our 5 and our 6 points. Slots the bar point, which could give us a 5 prime if we don't get hit. But we might get hit. Here are the three final positions. Quick recap. Here's the first possible move before and after, making the bar point and splitting. Second possible move, making the 4 point and splitting before and after. And the third possible move, making the 4 point and slotting the 7 point before and after. Take a look at the three boards, look at the features of each board, the pip count, the strength of each player's board, and the threats facing each player, and think about which board you would prefer. Here's some of Tardieu's key points. The 4 point is generally more valuable than the 7 point, as it is in our inner board. The 4 point is even better once we've got the 5 point already made, because it gives us the strongest 3 point home board. The 4 point is the natural home for the spares on our 5 and 6 points. White's 7 and 8 points are stripped, which tempt us to split our back checkers. That's one of the things we look for when we're deciding whether or not we should split. Does white have stripped 7 and 8 points? Because if he does, and he hits us with one of those, he's going to have to expose. White's 6 point is stacked with 5 checkers on it, which is a feature which argues against the split, because if white has a stacked 6 point like this, he'll be very tempted to hit us if we split our back checkers. And if we slot the 7 point and white misses us, we could make a 5 prime from the 4 to the 8 and possibly send the cube and win the game if white drops. And the fact that we're down in the race benefits us if we have a prime versus prime battle, because we'll have better timing. Let's look at what Tardieu says about each of the three moves. The move where we're making our 7-point and splitting our back checkers, Tardieu says the 7-point is a valuable point, but the 4-point is more valuable since it is an inner board point and a long-term asset, which we will likely keep for the rest of the game. It would be a blunder to make this move or making the bar point over making the 4-point. And we're also splitting back here, which is not a good idea. The second best move is to make our 4-point and split our back checkers. Making the 4-point is our number one priority. It's the 4-point is the natural home for the spares on our 5 and 6 points. So we're putting them where they want to go. And it's tempting to split given white's stripped 7 and 8 points. However, their heavily stacked 6-point should steer us away from this idea of splitting. The top play, according to Tardieu and XG, is to make the 4-point and slot the 7-point. We want to make the 4-point. That's our number one priority. The fact that we're making the 4-point checkers from our 5 and our 6 is even better. And the fact that we're slotting the 7-point sets us up for a 5' and a possible double if we don't get hit. Also, being behind in the race gives us the timing advantage we want if we're having a prime versus prime battle. We have more time before we have to start crunching our board or destroying our position. Tardieu's summary: timing is the ability to play one or more roles without sacrificing any of our structure. When we are behind in the race and have a timing advantage, look for and/or try to create prime versus prime positions, like we're doing here. Modify the position, take 2 checkers off our midpoint, bring them down to our 6-point, make the race much closer. Then we don't want to get hit. We want to make this 4-point and not get hit, not slot on the 7. We don't want to give white a chance to send a third checker of ours back. So instead of slotting the 7-point, we should either just make the 4-point or make the 4-point and split our back checkers. Let me know if you agree or not, if you have a question, or if you see something I might be missing. All questions and comments are welcome. Make sure to check out Alex Eshaghian's excellent review of Tardieu's book on YouTube, as well as Sunny Florida Backgammon Club's informative series of lessons on Tardieu's book, also on YouTube.